Hey guys, I'm back with a new video today. In today's video, we're going to be checking out Bless Global. It's an MMORPG that launched yesterday globally on cross-platform mobile devices. It's an open world free-to-play MMORPG. And in today's video, I'll be letting you guys know what class you guys should be playing or what class suits for you to play. So let's jump into today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoy the video, and let's check it out. So we are here on the classes, and of course, like usual, I did some research on what classes to play and classes to choose. So hopefully this video can help you guys out and figuring out what class you can play, because unfortunately this game is class unlocked, which that means is that once you choose your class, you have to stick with it. You can't switch weapons in the like you can do in other MMOs, so you're kind of stuck in your class. But don't worry, if you guys already chose a class, the game has level caps on every day, so you guys can easily catch up if you guys need to, if you want to choose a new class, or if you want to make a new alternative account, or maybe you already chose a class, you want to know how good your class is. So we will be going through the classes. So let's start with the Berserker. Now the Berserker is the usual two-hander class in most MMOs you guys play. If you guys are used to playing Greatsword or more of like a melee type sword fighter, you have the Berserker. So it has some good defense and some good attack. Overall, it's a well-balanced class. It's a melee fighter. So if you guys are used to playing a melee class where you're focused on using two-hander swords, great swords, axes, Berserker is probably the class for you. Overall, the Berserker is a very strong class. It has a good balance in everything. It does a good decent amount of damage in PvE. It holds its own in PvP, and overall a very balanced class. So if you guys are looking for that class that can deal damage but also have high defense, this is probably a class for you. Can work well also in faction PvP. Might struggle in mass PvP battles, like if there's a lot of AoEs going on, a lot of players fighting, you have to be close up to the players, so that is where the Berserker can struggle. But other than that, Berserker is a good balanced class to play. Next up is the Mage. Now the Mage, you guys already know, the Mage is always loved in most MMORPGs, and you can choose between male and female. But the Mage, if you're used to playing wizards or necromancers, ice mage, fire mage in other MMOs, this is probably the class for you. You have the long range class that does magical damage. Again, very high attack, very skill damage, not high defense, because you want to keep your range. Has a lot of good CC. If you guys are looking for a PvP class, it will do good amount of AoE damage. If you're looking for a PvP, faction PvP or mass PvP fights, then the Mage will do very good, because you have good AoE, you can keep your range, and you won't struggle. Might struggle more in like a 1v1s where there will be players that will be up close to you doing damage, but other than that, it does great in dungeons, PvE, and does very well in a mass PvP. I would say overall a very strong class, has high damage, so you will be able to keep up with players in PvE when it comes to damage meter, and very good AoE. So again, a Mage, can't go wrong with it. If you guys are used to playing Mage or wizards from other games, definitely go for the Mage. Next up we have the Ranger. Now the Ranger is another long range class, and it has one of the highest DPSs in the game. Again, if you're used to playing a bow, Ranger, elf, a gunslinger, Ranger is probably the class that you guys want to go for. Again, it is a very good balance. It has very high attack. You guys can also see it from here. It has high attack, high skill, not that much CC, but a lot of mobility. So the nice thing about it is being able to have the mobility is you can get away from stuff, keep your range, and do good amount of damage. Again, works very well in a large scale PvP, works in PvP because of the mobility, and works very good in dungeons. So overall, probably one of the strongest classes in the game when it comes to damage. So if you're looking to top the damage meters and stay ranged, definitely go for the Ranger. When it comes to mobile games, the range classes usually have an advantage because they can stay ranged and not get hit by everything else. So that's why Ranger and Mage are both really good choices. Now let's keep going. Next up we have the Crusader. Now the Crusader, as you can see, is a melee guard healer. Basically, it is the tank. Okay, this is the tank in this game, and if you guys are used to playing tank, paladins, shield players, aggro players, if you guys are used to playing tank, this is probably the class for you. Crusader is very strong because of its high defense and the healing capability. It does not have high damage like the other classes, but it has very high defense, survivability is very high, and it is a very nice support for other classes. So you probably will see a lot of Crusaders running around because overall it's a very strong class, especially if you're looking to be in PvP zones and farm stuff and grind stuff. Crusader is probably the class you guys should go for because of your high defense. You can outlast most opponents, you can survive the most damage that players are doing, and you're always needed in dungeons and PvE. If there's challenging PvE content, the Crusader is going to be important to be in the front lines and take all the hits. So if you guys are used to, again, playing tanks but also want to play a class with high survivability, Crusader is the class for you. If you feel that you're too squishy with the other classes, definitely go for Crusader. Again, you won't have high damage, but you have absolutely everything else in this game. High defense, high support abilities, but you also will be able to deal damage. It's not like you're just a fully tank that just takes damage. You can also dish out a little bit of damage. So overall, Crusader, a very strong class. Highly advise you guys to check this class out if you're looking to be a lot in PvP zones and fight a lot of players. So Crusaders, definitely a class to play. Unfortunately, there's no female gender open yet for the Crusader, which makes no sense. Females can also be Crusaders, okay? We don't discriminate. Last but not least, we have the Priest. Now, as you guys know, the Priest is the healer of this game. If you're playing healers in most games, you're playing Bard. If you're playing healer, if you're playing Priest, this is definitely the class for you. Heal support class. Like the Crusader can do a little bit of healing, but the Priest is like the all overall healer. And as you guys know, healer is always needed for everything. They can also deal damage, as you can see, with the damage over time skills, but the main ability of the Priest is healing. Okay, it can dish out a little bit of damage, but does buff their allies. It works very well in dungeons. You will need a healer if it's hard content. In big mass PvP fights, healers are important. If you're doing team fights in PvP, healer is important. The only place I can see the healers struggle a little bit is probably a PvP, but I heard in the beta the Priest was very strong, but I'm guessing it will probably get some nerfs in the global launch, probably amount of healing that it does. But healer, definitely check it out. Always needed in games. I'm telling you, if there's one thing there's lack of in games, it's healers, and then it's tanks. Okay, so definitely go for the Priest if you're used to healing in the game. You love the aspect of healing, because let's be real, most new MMOs, they don't have the Holy Trinity. They don't have the tank, healer, DPS. They just have like DPS classes. But in this game, you have an outright healer to buff and support your team, and with buffs you can increase your teammates' damage and also heal them. So definitely go for healer if you like healing, and if you like that your teammate can survive. If you're more of like a support player, like helping your teammates, Priest is the way. So going through the classes real fast, we have the Berserker, melee range, great sword slash great axe slash lancer type class. Stays up close to the enemy, does insane amount of damage, but also has a good defense. Okay, Mage, you have the long range magical user, fire, ice, good range. If you're used to playing Mage, wizards, necromancers, definitely the class for you. Does a lot of AoEs. Overall, a very good class. Then we have the Ranger. You know, bow, elf. Ranger is basically in every single game. Ranger and Mage, you guys, I don't need to say much about it. Good range, very high single target DPS, good mobility, get away from stuff. A great class. Crusader, again, the tank of this game, the shield bearer, the paladin, the aggro maniac. Crusader, if you like playing tank, you like having high defense, you like surviving for a long time, Crusader is your class. And then last, you have the Priest. If you like healing in the game, there's no other choice. Go for the Priest. So that is a D classes in a Blessed Global. If you guys agree with me, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What class do you guys choose Let me know also in the comments. I went for the Mage, but I kind of regret it. I kind of want to switch to Crusader. So I might do a switch and play Crusader for a while. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying Bless Global. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.